What's going on, guys? So today we have the markets in the green. We have the S&P, the Dow 30, pretty much everything. The cannabis sector, we're all green today. But the main company we're going to be talking about today is Aurora Cannabis, and we're going to be talking about why Aurora Cannabis is up almost 10% today. They've been up as high as 12%, as low as 8% today, but Aurora Cannabis is doing real good, and there's a main reason as to why this is happening. So before we get this video started, let me know what you guys think is going to happen with Aurora Cannabis, whether you think this is just a one green day and we're going to have a pullback, whether Aurora will continue to uptrend, or your thoughts and opinions. Also, before we get this video started, don't forget, give me a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, smash that subscribe button, and let's get this video started. So it was not too long ago that I made this video titled Buy Aurora, and it was titled, is it finally time to buy Aurora and Cantra stock? And that was a little more than a week ago, and that was pretty much when Aurora Cannabis, which I'm going to pull up the charts right now, was approaching this support line right here at $6. And as we see from these charts, Aurora Cannabis has dipped below this support line, went as low as $5.85, and now Aurora has had a huge run ever since dipping below this support line at around $6. So today Aurora Cannabis is up 9.37%, and there's some reason as to why this is happening, but we're gonna look at the whole sector before we look at Aurora Cannabis. So it's not only Aurora Cannabis that's up, we also have Afria up 1.85%, we have Canopy Growth up 2.51%, and we even have Kronos up 2.4%. Pretty much the whole sector is in the green right now, and it's not just the pod sector, it's the market as a whole. We have the S&P 500 up 34 points, Dow 30 is up 275 points, Nasdaq is up 110 points, Russell 2000 is up 10.3 points, even gold is up 0.38%. We have Tesla in the green, NEO up 5.25%, Hexo's up 1.21%, Apple, the whole markets are green today. But the main reason as to why Aurora Cannabis is up 9.21% is mostly because they released an earnings guidance, and we're going to get into that real quick. I'm just going to talk about a few concerns, and one of them is the huge gap up that we see here. We've seen Aurora gap up. We even seen Aurora at one point today go as high as $7.20 American. We're also going to be looking at Aurora Cannabis in Canadian dollars, but it's not just Aurora Cannabis that gapped up. We even see Afria here have a little gap up, and the reason why I'm talking about these gaps is usually when you see a huge gap up like that is they tend to get filled. Am I saying that we're going to see a pullback tomorrow? Well, nothing is really guaranteed, but I won't be surprised to see a minor pullback, especially after having a nice run up like that, 9% in one day. Now, just because I'm expecting a pullback doesn't mean I'm going to be collecting profits with Aurora, because I don't plan on collecting profits with Aurora. At this point, my positions with Aurora are all long-term positions, so I'm just holding on to positions. I was hoping to be buying back. I did say I'm going to buy at $6 American some Aurora shares, but I did not pick up any Canadian shares. So we're going to look at Aurora Cannabis in Canadian dollars real quick. I'll talk about the exact same support line, just a different price. So their support line in Canadian dollars is around $8.05, and as you could see, the same thing happened, went below the support line, had a huge run, nice gap up. Aurora Cannabis was sitting at $9 Canadian, currently sitting at $8.93 Canadian. I could potentially see Aurora hitting $10 in the near term, probably less than 1 month. So now we're going to go straight into the news as to what happened. So Aurora on Tuesday said it expected to produce more. I don't even want to say this word because every time I say something that's related to pot, my videos get demonetized. So I'm just going to say more pot than once expected during its fiscal fourth quarter, and the Canadian cannabis producer forecast stronger margins and more kilograms sold during the period. Aurora stock jumped, so the company forecast total net sales of 100 million to 107 million Canadian dollars, with the midpoint of the range representing a 59% jump. Zacks forecast sales of 87 million US or 115 million Canadian dollars. Aurora's forecast cannabis sales of 90 million to 95 million dollars, helped by gains in recreational Canadian sales as well as domestic and global sales of medical pot. The company also said it expected production available for sale would be at a higher end of a range of 25,000 to 30,000 kilograms. That forecast was above an earlier outlook of 25,000 kilograms. Aurora also projected quarter-over-quarter improvement in gross margins, kilograms sold, and cash cost per gram. The company said it would release full results at some point before September 15th, and I'm sure we will all be looking forward to that, especially because now we're expecting some pretty good numbers from them. So now we're starting to see a little bit of momentum in the pod sector. Last week we had Afria release some pretty good earnings, and as you could see, Afria had a huge run. Afria continues to be in the green today, and now Aurora is continuing that momentum. We're going to talk about Afria and Aurora real quick. So we're going to take a look at these numbers. They're expected to have a revenue in between 100 million, which is 75.8 million American, to 107 million. And year over year, that is significantly up from $19.1 million year over year. But then again, last year, at this time, the pot industry was not 100% legal in Canada. So revenue in the prior quarter was $65.1 million, and net revenues for the reporting period are guidance to 90 to 95 million. So that's a huge growth from 65.1 million to a guidance of 90 to 95, and now they're saying they're going to have a net revenue of 100 to 107 million dollars. That's almost a $40 million increase in net revenue, which is only quarter over quarter. So Aurora is just starting to approach the enormous production capacity of 625,000 kilograms per year. And I think as time goes on, eventually Aurora will be producing more. Even at one point, I do expect them to be producing closer to 1 million kilograms per year. But that won't probably be until like 2 to 5 years down the line. So as a full year guidance, net revenue is projected to reach 249 to 256 million net revenue in 1 year, which I definitely hope that one day in the future, Aurora will be producing at least 1 billion net revenue per year. So conclusion, I see nothing to suggest Aurora is going to have some negative surprises in the next quarter or the next year. Sales are going to continue to increase, and margins and earnings will continue to improve as Canada approves of derivative products that enjoy wider margins and better earnings potential. Aurora is best positioned to take advantage of that over time because of its market-leading production capacity and its proven ability to execute its business model. So for some reason, the Canadian Aurora cannabis is only up less than 7% today, and if we're looking at the American, we're almost up 10% at this point, up 9.5%, and at one point we were up 12% today. But as you could see, there was a huge sell-off after that huge run in the morning. Just by looking at these charts, we could still in a way say Aurora is continuing to downtrend, because I have this support right here, this resistance. Aurora had a huge run, went above this resistance, immediately got rejected. In order for me to officially say Aurora is uptrending, I want to see Aurora continue to go push past this green resistance line up here and break above it, and then hopefully start uptrending towards the right direction. If Aurora rejects this resistance line and continues to downtrend, and we continue to bounce in between these two lines, Aurora will still continue to downtrend, because that's what we've seen in the past. We've seen it hit the support, bounce up, hit the resistance, and then continue to downtrend. So what I'm hoping is this could potentially be when Aurora will turn around and finally start uptrending. Anyways, that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget, give me a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on what you think about this news. Also, if you're new here, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. I'll see you guys on my next video.